questions. So, we have an incredible lineup. Emerging talent really showcase their projects. Each speaker will have 10 minutes to present. And while people are presenting, please hold your applause until the end of the presentation. Thank you very much. Take it away, Liam. Thank you.
Howdy, howdy. So this talk is from student to studio, how we're transitioning into making a commercial game. Shortly, my name is Liam. I'm a technical designer, composer, and a fellow student. And I'm currently studying graduate diploma at AIE with the Academy of Interactive Entertainment. And I'm
formed by AIE students, and we're currently working on the game Viva la Grind. Now, the question that might be coming to your head is why? If you're coming straight out of school and you want to try and make a commercial game, there are a lot of unknowns. You haven't shipped anything, you haven't done marketing, you haven't worked within pipelines and all of this stuff. So why do we take such a risk? And for us, it was threefold. The first one is that the state of the industry in New South Wales, there are many companies and they do hire regularly, but it's quite competitive and it's a smaller crop than, let's say, Brisbane or Melbourne, and it's more difficult to get funding and get projects off the ground. So it was difficult for us to try and get those jobs and see if we can be competitive within that market, especially with how many people are graduating. And the second point leads into that, which is a desire to strengthen our portfolios. We really wanted to set ourselves apart from the crop of incoming students and to be able to show them that we have shipped something and we have experience actually getting a game out there. And the last one was that it was a golden opportunity. And the golden opportunity was our game Viva la Grind. It is a action platformer rollerblading game where you play as a stylish punk named Gigi and you skate through this Spanish-inspired city while fighting huge mechs. And originally it started off as a student project and it was just at the final unit of our advanced diploma course. But it was shown at PAX and South by Southwest and Supernova and Smash, and we received a lot of really positive reception from players and industry veterans alike. And so we decided to take that leap and actually turn this into a full commercial product. But how? How do you do that? I can say that, but how do you actually transition from not having any industry experience or business acumen to actually getting something that people can play? And so this is what we did. So first thing is business planning and role assignment. Super base level, just coming up with a 25-page business plan that outlines our strategy, structure, and risk analysis, and going through everything that we need to make sure that we can hit the ground running. We also assigned clear roles to all members, both in project work and in business-related operations. So that means that everyone is involved within the process, and we made sure that everyone was a part of the meetings that we had and creating this business together, because we really wanted to be a team of 8 students actually trying to make a project instead of 1 or 2 students just leading the rest. We built our milestones around marketing as well. So South by Southwest and PAX are really big events, and the reason that we were able to see the success of our project is because we showed it at all those events. So we made sure that all of the features that we were prioritizing gave us the best return on investment for showcasing. So that means that we didn't focus on adding too many features or blurting out things. We really wanted to make stuff polished. And so that means that a little kid can play at an event and then immediately ask his mum, can we wishlist this on Steam? So it was super important that we made the front-facing elements of them as strong as possible. So that means that we can be on the correct foot when we go for when we apply for grants and publishers. And we've also started creating marketing material early that we can push out coming up to those events. The next one is stronger agile workflows. It's funny, we didn't know that Notion was sponsoring this event, but we've actually moved to Notion as our productivity suite. We initially used Hack and Plan, which is really good for like getting the base in there, and it's super easy to pick up and use. But Notion has been great because we've been able to customize it in the way that we want and our specific development needs. And so taking that leap was really big, but it, of course, took time for us to set it up and really get it running. The next thing that we did is standards and procedures. The one thing about the student project last year is that it was a lot of slapdash things we hobbled together and to try and get it in, but this one we're taking it and we're being really forthright in how we're approaching all of this, and we're making documentation that allows us to not think of the minutiae of things, just have a rule set in place and then just follow those rules and get the and continue development. And the last one is pursuing multiple income streams. Our goal is to ship our flagship IP, Viva la Grind, but we would kind of be under the illusion that that would be a success if it was the only thing that we were doing. So we're making sure that we're looking for other ventures, such as making smaller titles that we can release on mobile. This is a game jam game that we made, and we're hoping to ship that as well. And also releasing our project through early access, so then that means that we can get that income stream as early as possible. And so I've found that going and transitioning into business has been really interesting because coming from a game design background, I kind of see everything in a game designery lens. And so I wanted to make some business tips, but disguise them as game dev tips. And so these are a few of the things that we've learned as we've done this transition. So the first one is that players should be fighting enemies and not game systems. And the business translation for that is that your systems should be strong, so that means development is spent where it should be. So we spent 6 months in pre-production getting everything ready, so that means that we could instantly start working on the stuff that we needed to. And it took 6 months, the original student project took 3 months, and it was a bit demoralizing because we didn't have that much of a project in the exact same amount of time. But as soon as we actually started to get an engine and create stuff, it was instantly we were creating higher, better quality of work with more team cohesion. And so creating those systems and spending the time on that was really, really valuable for us. The next one is soft locks can ruin games, so test for them. And the business translation for that is exit plans and risk analysis are crucial for avoiding potential catastrophes. And that's a thing that was drummed in us while we were doing the Games for Business course, is that you've always got to consider all of the different things that could go wrong, even if it is as basic as, oh, someone gets sick, or oh, someone is leaving the team because of this or that. It's super important, so then that means that when it comes time to actually address those issues, you already have something figured out when you might be preoccupied with something else. And it also helps with creating a better framework for legal documents like a founder's agreement. And the last one is pacing should ebb and flow, not stay stagnant. And the business translation for that is always remember to develop quickly and then review and analyze. This is essentially just a long-winded way of saying agile. We really wanted to make sure that the processes that we were doing in development were adhering to the agile workflow. And we've just come out of a really big development period, and we're going to be spending a lot of time reviewing and seeing where we're going from there. And I put in the photo of Uncharted because it's got really good pacing, and that's the way that I like to think of agile, is that it's super high intensity, you're getting stuff in, and then you actually peel back and see what you need to change. Because I've worked on projects where I either analyze too much or develop too much, and it always ends in catastrophe. But yeah, so thank you so much for listening. I've been Liam. And if you would like to check out our game, it is down in the lobby below, and you can also scan the link tree for all of our links. And I've also added some recommended resources that have helped me get more confident in terms of approaching business. So yeah, thank you very much. Cool.
Thank you very much, Liam. That was a great talk. Very interesting, very interesting. Approach looking at Steam Marketplace, handling stuff in documents, I guess.
I think I could use that too. From what I've seen, Chris Zukowski is probably like the messiah in terms of trying to optimize Steam. He's this like game marketer, and the thing that he really drills into devs is to make stuff that has that crafty, buildy, simulation-y kind of thing. It's the kind of game that someone can just play forever, no matter how many like hours they put into it. There's always new content for them to do because it's kind of like emergent, the design that you get out of it. Like Schedule 1 is a really good example of that. The game is pretty simple in its loop. You just, farm drugs and then you fight those dudes. But it's got that kind of emergent thing where you try and optimize your run or do this and do that. And players play the crap out of that stuff. And so we're not doing that. We're creating a very like linear, bespoke kind of game, still with elements of replayability, because our game is very similar to like Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. But yeah, for the best, like from what I've seen, the lowest cost but the best return is those kind of games that have that very replayable, Factorio satisfactory kind of like gameplay loop, instead of something that requires a lot of content to create. So not like a JRPG.
Just for the viewers who haven't played either of these games, what is the Factorio and Satisfactory game?
True. Factorio, it's you land on this alien planet and then you're like mining resources and then creating machines, and then it's all about automation and optimization. So it's like, I make this and I connect it to this. Oh, but I can make it better in this way. Oh, but then I can do this. And then you've wasted your whole weekend working on a conveyor belt, like switching system and all that. And those games are like, I've played them, and they are drugs for my brain. Yeah, I absolutely love those games.
Addictive.
Yeah.
Like a feedback loop.
Yeah.
Continuous progression.
And Satisfactory is essentially well, it's a bit reductive to say that, but it's the 3D version of it, made by Coffee Stain. But yeah, those games are like primo kind of crafty, buildy simulation-y games.
Right on. You had in your slide before that you're still at AIE.
Yes. So we're currently doing the Games for Business course, and the great thing about it is that, like, of course, I've just come from game dev. Like, I don't really know any of that stuff. But working with our trainer, we've been able to learn stuff about, like, getting stakeholders. In fact, Emerson is one of our student stakeholders, and he's been great because he comes from the world of business, and he's been able to inform the team and then give them pointers and all of that. And it's been great to have those kind of mentors, and it's given us, like, a great direction to actually approach it, because otherwise we would have just been, like, clanging two sticks together to try and write the actual, like, legalese.
Clanging two sticks. Wow, that's great. We might actually have Emerson present next, but before he does, I'm just going to ask one more question.
Mm-hmm.
For the students watching this stream or the students in the room, do you recommend having students try and publish their game while they're still learning and still in university or tertiary education?
I think the one thing that publishing is good for is that it forces you to actually try and finish it and get rid of all of the stuff like, oh, if we add this, and you actually just have to focus and get it out. Publishing on Steam is a whole rigmarole, and the market for that is a lot more kind of wild westy because people's expectations are through the roof. Itch.io is a great starting point. It's free. It's super easy to get your games on there. Some people just like go on there, find new games and play it. And I found that when I publish my games on Itch, especially if it's like a part of a game jam, you get like really good feedback from other devs and other people. So I'd 100% recommend people publish their own games. And even if they think that it's bad, you always think that your stuff is worse than it actually is.
I might even go a step further. I'd say publishing is a skill in itself.
That is true.
Finishing a game itself. All right, round of applause. Thank you very much.